This car has seen 3 different engines this year, and it's had everything from gaskets to water pumps to high pressure fuel pumps to injectors and everything else go wrong with it. So if you're trying to see a video of someone well experienced, this is going to be the video for you, just as a precautionary tale of what to expect. Now, these cars are beautiful. The 335, this generation in particular, was the first turbocharged that really set the platform for the B58s and all these incredible engines that are coming out. Again, great car when it's great, horrible car when it's horrible. I've literally, as I've mentioned, this car has me not even being able to talk anymore. But this car has literally went through every single thing imaginable. It has left me stranded multiple times. It's been at the mechanics longer than it's been at my own house. Now, this is really one of those cars that if you don't work on by yourself, you're gonna end up spending a lot of money just trying to get it running, as in my tale itself. Spent over $10,000, and this car has seen 3 different engines. This car really does prove that there's nothing more expensive than a cheap BMW. Now, here's the backstory. I buy and flip cars, and I bought this one earlier this year for $1,700 at a police auction. I thought it was a good flip. Sure, why not? Let's get it. Let's get the key for it. If it's all good, we made ourselves a good flip, right? Not exactly the case. This car has been everything but that. It has tested my absolute limits. There's no meditation practice that I've done that has got me to be more chill when things come up than this car here. And now we're gonna talk about that in just a little bit, okay? Now, again, 10 figures. This car has seen 3 different engines this year. The engine that it started off with, of course, we started it up, and here it is, rod knock. At 75,000 miles, right? 74 when I had it. So the car had 74,000 miles. It's a 2007, and it had rod knock. That is one of the most catastrophic failures that a car of any kind, of any engine, can have, right? Rod knock, there was metal shards all over the inside. It was a complete disaster. And I took this project on without even knowing what to get into, right? I've never taken an engine out. Most I've done was maybe an oil change. So by the time me and my brother pulled the engine out, I was like, dude, there's no way I'm gonna rebuild the internals on this. No way. I wanted to rebuild the engine from the ground up. So by the time we realized all the sensors, all the oil lines and everything else that comes along to the car, we decided to get the experts. Now, the second engine was purchased from a friend of mine. That one had about 167,000 miles. A good friend of mine, he pretty much dismantled cars, sells cars for parts, told me it was a good engine. Let me make sure I got a good shot of the car, and we do. We got people passing by. Making YouTube videos in public it's kind of a challenge, right? It really tests your shyness. So anybody else that's a YouTuber, you guys are dropping videos, I respect you guys. But nevertheless, the other engine had so much work that it needed, and we got it all done, right? I paid the $4,000, we slapped it together, we got it going, and then within 800 miles, it popped again. But in between that, there's a lot of things that came up, right? There was the water pump, right? I didn't even know that it was limping because it was overheating. There was also the high pressure fuel pump that went bad. So when they were trying to discover what was wrong with the car and why it was misfiring, first thing they did was change the high pressure fuel pump, and it ran better, a little bit. Still misfiring like a motherfucker though. And then once they pulled the 6 injector out, it was leaking, check compression, basically 0 compression. But before that, the night before it popped, they also removed the turbo solenoids as well. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of people coming here. It's also a freeway right next to us. If you guys hear noise, please forgive me. But nevertheless, the night before, they were trying to find out whether this particular code was vanos or if it was turbo solenoids. So the mechanic had removed the turbo solenoid, and I'm telling you, that was the most fun I've ever had with this car. It was boosting beautifully, it was pushing, it was braking traction. It was a really good thing. That's what happened the night before. Day after, complete disaster. Dropped it off, bought the engine within a week, and then it took them 3 months, which was a complete bummer, right? Because I wrap cars, that's what I do professionally. When I had wrapped this car, it was 3 weeks, rather 2 weeks before it popped. So the entire time, the mechanics just left it out in the sun, baking. They didn't even bother washing it. They didn't even bother covering it. And of course, sure enough, by the time I got it back, man, it was a disaster. But that leads me fast forward till today, right? Again, 5 figures, trying to get it running, about $12,000. The oil cooler, there's transmission cooler that runs through the front of the radiator, which is also next to the fan. It happened twice. So the first time they didn't tie it up properly, it smacked, boom, I had it all over the driveway. And then the last time, which is about a week or two ago, it happened again. But nevertheless, it happened when I was at buying the bumper, you know, finally trying to get money into making it look pretty, and sure enough, it popped. And again, this is the first car I've ever turbocharged, played with. It actually taught me a lot, because before this, I've always owned your Honda Fits, Honda Accords, Prius. I love a good Prius, man. That's just how I am, right? I love practicality. You know, like, what's more fun than 500 horsepower? Actually getting to where you want to go, because this thing has seen more tow trucks and has seen my mechanics more often than not. More often than it's been in my own house for the whole year. I went to pick up some wrap for a client of mine. He had damaged the back of his Model 3, color is Space Candy Gray to Blue. So we're gonna pick that up, but before we do, let's go! Oh my God. God, man. That's the thing about this car, man. Like, yeah, I hate it. I hate to love it. But when it's running good, man, this thing is running good. Now, luckily, we're on our way to the freeway here. Bad thing is, that was all done next to the police station. So if you guys are familiar with where I'm at, let's keep this between us. All right. So let's loop on the freeway, get back on Azusa.
Use the middle lane to take the I-10 East Ring.
Yeah, I know where I'm headed, baby. Gee, now this camera is acting up. All right, here we are. Got the license plate covered because, once again, I don't have a license plate back there. And then this is the color here. So when the light hits it, it essentially shifts color. Oh, what the fuck is in my pocket? Here's how it looks when the sun hits it. Got that little color pop. All right, so this guy, his card's full. All right, so as I mentioned, the only thing that's left to do is really make the car look pretty. And like I said, this car has been left out so long at the mechanics that it's not even worth washing, because I'm gonna rewrap the whole thing anyway. A lot of it was completely damaged, so. But for the bummer that it is, luckily I wrapped cars, so it's not gonna be too big of a deal. And I'm actually looking forward to the design that I have as well. So main thing as well, fix the dent on this side. There's also a dent right over here. And then this happened in the mechanics watch. I really don't know what they did to cause that. The rest of the body looks really good. I'm leaving the wheels for last just because I'm not sure if I'm gonna go wide body. So that's really gonna determine what kind of wheel setup I go with. As for now, I'm gonna ride stocks with the new tires. And the next thing to do as well is fix all these sensors, man. I have no idea why, you know, Christmas was yesterday. I believe the Christmas tree should be put down right after Christmas, but apparently those lights are here to stay. And then here is where all the magic is as well. If you guys are looking for a setup like this, this is good for about 600 horsepower, full BRSF, inlets, outlets, bolt-ons, all that good stuff. The charge pipe is a must fix. We also got that BRSF. And then we have the tile blow-off valves. It's a 50 millimeter. You have to hear that in just a little bit. And we have 17T turbos. As far as the coils, so we have Elder coils, because that was what was recommended by my mechanic. Also, at first I was really concerned over this ticking sound, but I've also learned that those injectors, which are right here, all 12s, they push at about like 5 PSI. So this thing is just spraying. We have NGK, two-step colder spark plugs, along with these Elder coils as well. So Elder coils are really good because they're rated up to 700 horsepower. As far as the other ones that I had, they burn within like 500 miles. All good stuff here. Now I get to focus on the good stuff, really getting these lines. Again, you guys are gonna realize in the next video how much damage is really underneath this and how much Bondo. Like, I'm surprised it actually looks this good. Even though it looks beat, I'm surprised it looks this good for how beat it really is underneath it. Fix all these lines, get new kidney grills, of course, and hopefully that new bumper I get is gonna have better fit in it, because this thing is completely warped, hanging on for dear life, as you guys can see on each side. If you guys are tired of Vehicle Virals and all these other guys, super cool dudes, man. I've watched them, I love watching them, but this is gonna be another channel, a new home for a 335 channel, so go and follow me there. And before I let you guys go, if you guys want to get your car wrapped here in Los Angeles, Southern California, I have customers driving from all over the place. Definitely reach out to me, guys. You guys are gonna see in the next video how to wrap it, why I wrap it. You guys are gonna see I'm the best out there.